Introduction. An unexpected encounter in the wilderness. It was meant to be a routine assignment, a midsummer hike along a scenic trail to capture the essence of Japan's natural beauty for a weekend lifestyle feature. But what started as a peaceful trek turned into a heart-racing encounter when a local reporter found themselves face to face with a bear, approximately 1 meter long, quietly blocking the trail. While the bear eventually wandered off without incident, the encounter has triggered a flurry of discussion among wildlife experts, hikers, and local residents. Was this a case of increasing human-wildlife interaction? Or merely a young bear out for its seasonal forage? The incident. A reporter meets a bear. The encounter took place around 10:30 a.m. on a well-known hiking path in a mountainous region popular among nature lovers. The reporter, a mid-career journalist working for a regional newspaper, was hiking solo with basic gear, a notebook, camera, and backpack with supplies. "I was just about to take a shot of the morning light filtering through the trees," the reporter recalled, "when I noticed something move up ahead. At first, I thought it was a large dog. But as the figure ambled closer, the features became unmistakably ursine, rounded ears, a compact build, and shaggy dark fur." Startled but trying not to panic, the reporter remained still, watching as the bear paused a few meters away. It showed no signs of aggression, no growling, no raised hackles, merely sniffed the air and looked curiously. After what felt like an eternity, the bear turned and disappeared into the brush. Expert analysis. A young bear looking for food. Dr. Takashi Morimoto, a wildlife ecologist from Hokkaido University's Department of Zoology, was consulted after the event. Upon reviewing the description and size, approximately 1 meter in length, he suspects the bear was an immature individual, likely a cub transitioning into adolescence. "This is likely a juvenile bear, probably born last year." Drive. Morimoto explains. Young bears in midsummer are actively learning to forage independently. They are naturally curious, especially in areas where human presence may overlap with their food sources. He emphasized that the bear's non-aggressive behavior and lack of fear could indicate it has had previous neutral, or even positive, encounters with humans, such as scavenging near trailheads or campgrounds. This type of behavior, while seemingly benign, is a growing concern. If bears lose their fear of humans, future encounters may not end as peacefully. Summer. A critical season for bears. Summer is a pivotal time for bears in Japan. With the snowmelt long gone and forests full of edible plants, insects, and small animals, bears are focused on fattening up ahead of the lean autumn and winter months. According to the Ministry of the Environment, bear activity peaks from June through September, especially in forested mountainous regions where berry bushes and wild nuts are in abundance. Unfortunately, this seasonal feeding frenzy often brings bears closer to human settlements, trails, and roads. Reports of bear sightings have increased in recent years, a trend attributed to both habitat loss and climate-induced shifts in natural food cycles. Dr. Morimoto notes, "We're seeing more bears venturing outside of traditional forest zones because their internal biological clock is urging them to feed. And when natural food is scarce, they improvise, sometimes by entering areas where people are." Public reaction. Fascination, fear, and frustration. The incident has sparked a range of reactions online and in local communities. Some have expressed awe at the encounter. "It must have been magical to see a bear in the wild," one user commented on social media. Others, however, have raised concerns about safety, especially with the increasing popularity of hiking during Japan's warm months. Local hiking groups have called for better signage, public education, and possibly even seasonal patrols on popular trails. "It's not enough to assume people know what to do," said Reiko Tanaka, leader of a hiking club in Nagano. "We need to make bear awareness part of hiking culture, especially for tourists unfamiliar with wildlife protocols." Bear safety measures. What to do in an encounter. Following the report, local authorities have reissued bear safety guidelines for hikers. 1. Make noise while walking. Bells, whistles, or even conversation can prevent surprise encounters by alerting bears from a distance. 2. Travel in groups. Bears are less likely to approach multiple people. 3. Carry bear spray. Though not commonly used in Japan, bear deterrent sprays are gaining popularity. 4. Avoid leaving food scraps. Human food and trash are major attractants for bears. 5. Stay calm if encountered. Do not run. Slowly back away while keeping an eye on the bear. Experts also warn against trying to photograph or approach bears, no matter how docile they appear. They are wild animals, not zoo exhibits. Drive. Morimoto cautions. The risk can escalate instantly. A reporter's reflection. It was a wake-up call. In an op-ed published a day after the incident, the reporter shared personal thoughts on the encounter. It was a reminder of how thin the boundary is between civilization and wilderness, they wrote. I wasn't in danger, but I wasn't in control either. That bear was where it belonged, I was the visitor. They also called for more thoughtful engagement with nature, advocating for deeper respect for wildlife and the environments they inhabit. We must stop seeing wild spaces as recreational backdrops and start understanding them as living ecosystems with their own rules. Broader implications. Japan's human-wildlife balance. This episode isn't isolated. In fact, Japan has been grappling with a broader trend of increasing human-wildlife encounters. The country's bear populations, particularly the Asiatic black bear Ursus thebatinus, are stable or even increasing in some regions thanks to conservation efforts. However, that success has come with complications. In areas such as Akita, Nagano, and Yamagata, bear sightings near residential zones have surged. Last year alone, there were over 3,000 reported sightings nationwide, with dozens of non-fatal injuries. Wildlife management agencies are now walking a tightrope, protecting both human lives and endangered species. We don't want to go back to the days of widespread culling, says Ayumi Kawahara, a forest ranger in Gifu. But we also need strategies that include habitat restoration, controlled deterrence, and public education. Technological tools and conservation innovation. Japan is also exploring technology-driven solutions. Motion sensor cameras, drone surveillance, and AI-based mapping of animal movement patterns are increasingly being employed in high-risk zones. Some towns have also introduced automated loudspeaker systems that emit bear-repelling sounds when motion is detected. Additionally, schoolchildren in rural areas are being taught bear etiquette, and ranger-led educational programs are being launched in national parks. We're building a culture of coexistence, Kawahara adds. That means shifting our mindset from fear to informed respect. Conclusion. A harmless encounter, a powerful message. In the end, the reporter's encounter with the bear concluded peacefully, without injury or escalation. But its impact has rippled far beyond a single individual's hike. It has reignited important conversations about wildlife behavior, safety awareness, and the delicate balance between modern life and the natural world. The bear, possibly just a curious adolescent navigating its first summer alone, has become a symbol of that balancing act. One that demands humility, awareness, and adaptation from the humans who walk into its forested home. As Japan continues to encourage outdoor recreation and ecotourism, this incident serves as a timely reminder. When we enter nature, we step into someone else's territory. And sometimes, that someone has fur and paws.